Welcome back to my annual routine to talk about what is the best way to pay income tax, and that is for this year, 2025. Now, for 2025, I thought it would have been an easy topic because what you have to do if you did pay your taxes in March when your NOA was surfaced is that you use the chocolate card, right? The chocolate Visa debit card. That is going to earn you 2 max miles per dollar when you use it to pay on AXS. I was intending to do that, but we all knew what happened, so that method is not available anymore, okay? Cannot use chocolate card directly on AXS. So let's go back to basics again on income tax payment. What is the best way to pay? But before that, if you want to pay for your income tax, you want to set up the 12 months interest-free GIRO monthly installment. And you can do that if you download the form and submit it to IRAS. And for this GIRO form, you can link it via eGIRO to any of your participating banks. But if you don't know which bank to go for, I'll talk about the HSBC Everyday Global Account first. Okay, I have something else coming up later, but let's talk about HSBC Everyday Global Account because that gives you 1% additional cashback in GIRO payments, and that will include your income tax bill. So for everyone who is having an EG account, please go and link it to eGIRO. The only requirements is that you need to transfer in at least 2,000 Singapore dollars plus 5 eligible transactions, which one of the 5 eligible transactions you could do is to do a funds transfer out of your EGA. Right, just starting from $1, just do 5 transfers out and you're good. But make sure you transfer out to a non-HSBC account because that is a requirement. So once you have fulfilled the transfer in 2,000 plus 5 transfer out, then you can qualify for the Everyday Plus Rewards program, which also gives you 1% cashback in GIRO bill payments. Do note of the cashback cap. It is capped at $300 for personal banking accounts with HSBC Everyday Global Account and $500 for the premium banking customers. So that is the most basic of basic when you want to pay income taxes before any promotion, because there's like long-term running already. Every year I say the same thing. Okay, so if you don't want to miss all the promotions, then come and join us at over 20,000 members in the Honey Money SG Telegram group and ask your questions there. Let's talk about something new this time. It's called the OB1 Account Taxaver promotion. Do note this is a limited time promotion and you want to participate in this for the reasons like getting up to $600 in cash rebates for paying your income tax. And to go in more specific terms, it is 6% to 6.5% depending on which tier you are in. So at the top tier, $150,000 of monthly average balance with a monthly cash rebate of up to $50, then you can get an annual cash rebate of $600. This is the top tier already. So if we do the actual calculation, $50 divided by 6%, you get $833.33. That is your monthly income tax payment cap, okay? That is when you hit the max cap rebate. So that will also mean in the 12-month period, 12 times $833.33, that means your annual income tax must be $10,000. Then you can enjoy the maximum lah. Now, 6% cash rebate on your income tax payment sounds really good, but what is the catch? What are the terms and conditions and the requirements? Number one, you will need to be a OB1 account holder. Okay, I know that a lot of you already have OB1 account, so that is not like a very difficult requirement. But coming to the next requirement, you will need to apply for GIRO monthly tax payment plan link with the UOB eGIRO, and you will have to register your mobile number for PayNow. So instead of linking with HSBC Everyday Global Account like I mentioned in my introduction, now you have to link to the UOB1 account, right? And also make sure you participate and register. And then the last step is that you need to get a money lock. Any amount will do, just start with $1. I guess that is enough. Just activate it on the UOB app or the website. So after finishing these few steps, I think the most important thing is to maintain your monthly average balance, which at the highest tier is 150k, but at the lowest tier you can maintain it at 30,000. But that's not the point, right? Because if you just maintain 30,000, you are not getting like good interest on it. So I'll recommend this method only when you can fulfill at least $100,000, just hit the monthly average balance tier. And at the same time, you can qualify for the UOB1 account, high interest savings account interest of up to 3.3%. And then you add the 0.8% from the quarterly earmark promotion. Now it's known as the Cash is King's Saving Bonanza. Okay, so you add all this up, I think it will be a very good return. But this is all assuming you are in the OB1 ecosystem. So for those of us who are not in the OB1 ecosystem, what are the other options? The number 2 option will be going through payment solutions providers like CardUp or ipaymy. These are third-party payment solutions where if you pay a certain amount of fee, then you can still earn credit card rewards like miles or cashback. But not all credit cards though. I'll list down a few like Maybank Platinum Visa can give you 3.33%. Then UOB Privy Visa card can give you 1.4 miles per dollar. DBS Vantage can get you 1.5 miles per dollar. And also the chocolate card, if you are interested in max miles, it can give you 2 max miles per dollar. And 2 max miles per dollar can even be redeemed for Fly Anywhere redemptions from 3.6% cash rebate to 4%. Now is the upsize promo until July. Regarding how to use CardUp or ipaymy, I already ran through them in a full video. But to keep it simple, it's just that you load your transactions, how much you want to pay to this IRAS. Then you have to upload your supporting documents like your notice of assessment. Then just make a payment with the admin fee plus any kind of referral or promo code that you can use. And if you're a new user, you can use my promo code. This is the one for CardUp, and then this is the one for ipaymy. Use the new user code first because that has the most benefits. And by the way, the new user promo code, probably you want to use it on the non-income tax payment like your renovation contractor or pay insurance, okay, other kind of education institutes, because income tax promo code is only specific for income tax payment only. And if you look at my existing tax promo codes for both CardUp and ipaymy, just use them as listed here. You can get 1.75% admin fee instead of the usual 2.6%, I believe. So whether you want to use cashback card or miles card is very subjective. I think cashback, you want to use a cashback card like Maybank Platinum Visa only when it's net positive, right? And recently I also went through the POC family card, and I also heard of DCS Flex card. So cashback only use it when it's net positive because it has to at least cover the fee plus a few benefits to be worth your effort. But for miles, it is highly subjective really because you will need to calculate the cents per mile. For example, if you look at UOB Privy card, 1.4 miles per dollar, that means with the 1.75% fee, you will be paying 1.75 divided by 1.4, which is 1.25 cents per mile. I think this is fair value, right? 1.25 cents per mile is a very good price, or I say fair price to buy miles at, because most people who redeem flights, they redeem it at around 2 cents per mile value. So if you can buy at 1.25, I think that is pretty great. That's assuming you know where you want to redeem your flights for. By the way, this video is not sponsored by anyone, not sponsored by IRAS, not sponsored by UOB, not sponsored by CardUp or ipaymy, right? So if you want to show your support for this channel, you can either click on this interactive brokers link or you can scan this QR code, okay, which will support the channel for every click I receive. So thank you to all those who have clicked. And let's move on to the last option, which is Citi Pay All, which I highly do not recommend, but I'll still go through the promotion details. First off, if you want to use Citi Pay All with a benefit, you will have to pay a fee of 2.6% admin charge. To find out how much you need to pay, you can go to your Citi mobile app, then go to payments and set up Citi Pay All for a single time payment. And for example, if you want to pay $100 one-time payment, you will realize the fee is $2.60, which is 2.6%. Now, Citi Pay All just released their brand new promo, but I don't think it's even attractive. But let's go through them. First, you will need to hit a minimum spend requirement of $6,000 on fee-paying non-tax transactions. So other than income tax to IRAS, you also need to spend $6,000 on other non-tax payment, $6,000, that's super a lot for a 2.6% fee. But in turn, you will earn 1.8 miles per dollar or 4.5 points per $1 on fee-paying tax transactions. Okay, so you pay 2.6%, you get 1.8 miles per dollar. Or you can also earn 1.6 miles per dollar or 4 points per $1 on fee-paying non-tax transactions. Okay, I know what you're waiting for already. The calculations, is it worth it or not? So if you take the cost per mile, the cost is 2.6, right? So 2.6 divided by 1.8 just for the tax portion, you are paying 1.444 cents per mile. That is even higher than CardUp or ipaymy. To me, that is too expensive already 1.44, I got 1.25, I go use 1.44. Plus, that's not even the worst, because you have to fulfill the fee-paying non-tax portion of minimum spend $6,000. Wow, just when you thought the calculation is not good already, then you still have to add additional requirements. So I really do not recommend Citi Pay All at all. Okay, go and use CardUp or ipaymy. I think that's much more favorable. But I do agree that some people, they will choose Citi Pay All because firstly, Citi has much more transfer partners, and secondly, CardUp or ipaymy do require supporting documents, but Citi Pay All, I think they are much more lenient on that. So if you ask me, out of these three, which one is the best? I'll say that OB1 Account Taxaver, this promotion, 6% cash rebate is really very hard to beat, but it has some very specific requirements, like you need to be in the OB1 ecosystem, you need to use the OB1 account, you need to use the specific credit cards in order to earn the high interest, plus the fact that you will need to maintain the monthly average balance. Okay, I think that's the most difficult one, because if you want to qualify for the year mark promo, you will have to hold your funds for 5 to 6 months, and this 5 to 6 months is really locked up. You cannot touch these funds. So it may fit those people who are already in the ecosystem, but if you're not in the ecosystem and you're trying to get in, okay, then this will be a very important decision factor of whether you want to use the OB1 Account Taxaver promotion, because it is not just a single promotion. You have to encompass so many other things, the credit cards, the bank accounts, and the holding balance part, okay? So be very careful if you want to use this. Citi Payout, like I said, don't consider because the fees are not worth it, plus the $6,000 spend requirements is just not making sense for me. But it may make sense to some of you who really prefer Citi Payout, okay? I have no judgment on that. So for those of you who are not in the OB1 ecosystem, I would say go for CardUp or ipaymy promotion. Go and use my new user code, okay, to pay your other non-tax payment first. To fully utilize, then for the tax, you go and use a 1.75% fee code. And the good news is, since you're already using a credit card to pay CardUp or ipaymy, you can even stack it up with the HSBC GIRO for 1% cashback GIRO bill payments to your credit card. So that's like on top of it, right? So you earn and then you earn again. This is what I really like for stacking multiple promos, multiple rewards, and multiple benefits, which is why some of you may not really know of this. This is a video to educate some of you on the best methods to pay income tax. So short answer for those of you who are already in the OB1 ecosystem, go and use OB1 Account Taxaver promotion. For those of you who are not and prefer not to use UOB products at all, then can consider my CardUp and ipaymy /HSBC EGA solution, right? So if you really want to start on CardUp but you're unsure on the step-by-step process, I've already done up a step-by-step guide in this video, which you can check it out right here.